Hello. Thank you for coming to listen in to the Predictive discovery story. I'm going to give you a brief presentation on our company, but with a particular focus on the discovery that we've made in Guinea's Siguiri Basin. Normal disclaimer. Predictive has been exploring in West Africa for over a decade. We have a large portfolio of projects. I am going to focus on the projects which are highlighted in orange here in the Siguiri Basin of Guinea, but you can see with the green labels we have quite a lot of other projects in Côte d'Ivoire and Burkina Faso, which are largely under joint venture. The particular focus of this presentation is the Kaninko discovery that was announced on the 15th of April. In terms of the corporate overview, we currently have 824 million shares on issue and $9 million in cash, the result of a financing that was completed on the 15th of June, 15th and 16th of June. Really, the highlight of this slide, though, is the fact that when we announced its discovery on the 15th of April, we got an enormous uplift in share price. And the share price has risen to nearly 9 cents, and possibly both above and below, and has rested there ever since with a great deal of investor interest based on our ongoing news flow. Predictive is an exploration company, and as such, it's been operating with a very small team over the past years. Obviously, the situation is changing now. We have the minimum size board. Myself, I'm a geologist, and I've been with the company since inception. Philip Jackson, our chairman, who's a corporate lawyer. Stephen Michael, who comes from a corporate finance background. So a well-balanced board, but clearly going forward, since we seem to be on the runway to a very significant discovery, we would look to expand that with other expertise. Management team, also small. Myself, Barry Murphy, our chief geologist. He and I have worked together over a long period of time. Very experienced structural geologist. Amy Naganari, the guy on the ground, doing a great job. So locality map here. We're in northeastern Guinea. You can see the Siguiri Basin, which contains the Siguiri mine, Anglo Gold, been operating for a number of years, very large deposit, Lero mine. And you can see where we are. We're in the southwestern corner of the Siguiri Basin, an area which is quite close to several deposits, so quite busy in terms of known exploration, but in fact, no previous drilling on the Kaninko and Saman projects. And so this is absolutely a virgin discovery. This is the discovery slide. This is an image of power auger drilling. Power auger has turned out to be the discovery methodology for this system. These results were released before the great uplift in February and March. A large power auger anomaly, average value within that pink outline of 1.5 grams in 18 holes. And what that led to was an air core drilling program that was completed in March, results released on the 15th of April as mentioned. And really the most important feature of this image is that, well, the features are firstly that we haven't drilled the whole of the anomaly, we've only drilled a portion of it. And where we have drilled, most of what you see are red bars on that image. Red bars means reportable intercepts. So most of the drilling is reportable intercepts. So we've found a broad zone, and we haven't drilled it to its limits, to the east, to the west, to the north, or to the south. And at this point, we knew that it was 500 metres long and 200 or 300 metres wide. On cross-section, just to give you some indication of what's going on here, and we'll linger a little bit on this section to talk about the weathering and the grade and the potential economics. So what you can see is 4 holes there. This is the southernmost section. The standout intercept in our first announcement was this 46 metres of 6.6 grams. And as you can see, that's pretty well mineralisation from top to toe, and the other holes are mostly mineralisation as well. The system on this section is open to the east and to the west, and at depth, that's a width of mineralisation of 120 metres, and all in this pale yellow, apart from shallow laterite at surface. This pale yellow is saprolite, deeply weathered bedrock, soft, and very likely to be very low mining costs, particularly because there's very little waste to be mined here. And we know that in Guinea, where you have this thick weathering, that you get very good economics potentially even relatively low grade. Recovered grade at the Sagiri mine last year was 0.75 grams a tonne, and yet it's profitable, and that was largely in hard rock. So in soft rock, very good economics, and as a consequence, you get these broad zones. Most of what you see, most of those red bars are going to go straight into a mill. So a very exciting start here. We just go 160 metres to the north, another section, another high grade, also open to the east and west, open at depth, clearly open to the east from the power auger hole that's shown on this image. Again, soft material. And finally, 150 metres wide, so we've got 5 holes in this particular position, not drilled to the limits, open to the east, probably open to the west, again, open at depth. So a very promising start on something that has significant potential in the oxide, and at this stage, not clear what the potential is at depth, although we're very, very hopeful that we're going to find in the hard rock something similar, possibly even better grade, which obviously gives potential for a very large deposit. This is a little locality map showing northeast Bankan, this prospect we've just been talking about, and Bankan Creek, which is only 3 kilometres away. This is another system, slightly different geologically, but the most interesting thing about this particular prospect is that we've drilled into fresh rock. The green that you see on that cross-section, the 80 metres of 3 grams, seems to be a bit higher grade than what we're seeing in the saprolite, the very weathered rock. It's thinner here, it's lower down, which potentially means the grade improves with depth, if not stays the same at depth. Obviously, that's highly significant. If we find that up on the Bankan Creek prospect, then clearly there's potential to drill this to very considerable depths for an open pit, particularly as the mineralisation at surface is so broad. Suggestion is that we'd probably be able to drill it for an open pit target to several hundred metres, and obviously that leads to very large tonnage opportunity. We released some new power auger results today, and we also released some on the 27th of May, and they've grown the system from the 500 metre length that we knew about to 1.3 kilometres now. So it's been growing as we've been doing more of this power auger drilling. Clearly the discovery method. Just today we announced this 16 metres of 1.4 and 60 metres of 1.1 grams in power auger holes, stopping in 1 gram material at the bottom of the hole, which was 20 metres depth in this deeper weathered bedrock. So very promising starts on two properties, 2 permits that we have here. Excuse me. And all of that pink area is above 1/4 gram, which is our cut-off grade. And now if we look at a larger scale, again, we can see where we are with respect to Bankan Creek. You can see all of the power auger drilling that's been recorded, the black and multicoloured triangles. And then in red, you can see the drilling program that we're doing now that will extend the strike length tested on this structure that we've identified to 3.8 kilometres. There is some known workings down in the southern part of this grid, and certainly we are hopeful that we're going to find more mineralisation and expand the tonnage potential further. More broadly, apart from this, there's power auger drilling, and we have a large amount allocated. This the amount that we've done and we will do is about 11,000 metres, but there's certainly room for significantly more as our budget allows. And then we've got room for at least 25,000 metres of RC drilling. We're RC drilling now. We're drilling to about 76 metres depth and testing for oxide mineralisation. So that's the first and important, if you like, that's the lower hanging fruit in this system. And then we're also doing diamond drilling. So we've actually currently got 5 rigs on the job. We've got 2 power auger machines. We've got currently 2 RC rigs on the job, and we've got 1 diamond drill working on double shift. The diamond drilling is doing exploratory drilling to help us understand geology and grade distribution. We've got 5 holes completed now, and we'll be expecting to send those samples off to the laboratory in the next few days. And that will obviously be a very important and very exciting test for us to identify where the gold is and what kind of rocks it's associated with. So that's a very important step in this process. As we build knowledge, then we'll expect to expand the rate of drilling, possibly as early as August or September. Maybe because rainy season is upon us, we might need to do the large-scale drilling starting perhaps in October, November, but we'll see how we go with the rainy season. and with the results, and metallurgical test work. And once we've got a clearer idea of the ore deposit that we're dealing with in fresh rock, all driving towards having a resource calculation completed by the middle of next year. And with the 9 million funding, we're certainly funded for all of the program that we've laid out on this slide. Elsewhere, we have other properties, and on those other properties, there's certainly some potential, and we're doing some work on them, relatively low-key work. A little bit of drilling on Bankan that you can see on this image, and we will expect to do drilling eventually on Kundian, but I don't expect to see that until the first half of 2021.